Oh yeah, it's Adam and Ryan show time without Mr. Ryan. That's right, he's out today doing some other stuff. So you're gonna get a little bit of Adam today, and we're gonna have it the Adam show, and we'll probably just make some fun of Ryan as we go along, but that's pretty normal. So welcome. This is the last show of the year, Adam and Ryan show, and so I don't have a special guest today. We had a couple people lined up, but one of them was pretty tired, so we weren't able to be able to hang out with them tonight, but they may be here in the chat, so that is something that's good. And guess what? I was writing up, we usually write up all of the list of things that we're going to do, but I have it in my head today. So instead of me having to go from that little agenda, we're going to talk about the various things that we have in store for you tonight on the show. One of the first things is there's some new gameplay footage of Dead Space, the remake. It's coming out January 27, 2023, so just around the corner. It's interesting because if you watched my solo stream, you saw that I played through Dead Space 1 just recently, finished that guy out. I was going to go through 2 and 3, but with this new one coming out, that might be something that I check out that I want to show you out a little bit because it does look pretty sweet. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that gameplay. Let's watch a little bit of it and just get some first takes. I know there's been some gameplay footage out there already for it, but this one, it just got into my queue. I was playing Xbox Series X. Actually, I was playing a lot of Halo Infinite the last couple days. If you watched the stream, you may have watched me play a little bit of Infinite. And who knows, maybe we'll play some Infinite tonight. I've been kind of juggling between, do I continue with Infinite because I've been jacking around with it, playing the normal run through, or do we maybe start with The Witcher? I'm not sure. Hey, babe, what's up? Thanks for joining tonight. So we have a couple people in the stream. One other thing that we want to talk about is there's a new program that came out, not a new program, but a new update to the program. You want to see me play some Witcher, do you? All right, well, maybe we'll be playing some Witcher tonight. Wait, did you see that? Watch this. Check the color. See, it looks like it's washed out, and there's some weirdness in that left-hand corner. Now it's gone. Well, we're going to see why it's doing that very shortly. I have a new little thing here that you have not seen the stream for the last couple times. It's a new addition to the show. I appreciate it. It's something that's fun. So anyways, there was a new update to a program, Simplify 3D. There's some debate about Simplify 3D being even something that we should talk about too much because it's one of those pay programs that I'll have to get into it a little bit specifically when we get to the Simplify 3D. But the general thing is it's a slicer. So you take your 3D objects, you put it in there, you slice it up, and you send it to the printer or send it to a SD card so you can go and print those things. So anyhow, Simplify 3D, I bought this. It was pretty expensive. It was like $150 in 2019. And the thought was that you were just going to get upgrades as you go along for free, or at least at the time it had been out a couple of years. And then they just came out with another update to it, which wasn't that significant in terms of wow features that you get that you can't get with free software like a Kira or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and step back and say, you know what? You're probably right. Kira is probably the better one. It's free. You have all these different features. I was already bought into the Simplify 3D kind of environment and world, and I got used to it, and I like it. So there were a few features that they just introduced that I just felt obligated to go and invest and make sure that I could get that. So we'll take a look at those tonight. And then we're going to do a little bit of fun with ChatGPT. If you haven't seen ChatGPT, you may have saw it on the last show. If you weren't here with us for that time, we're going to go in there and we're going to check that out. One of the things that's cool about ChatGPT is it's an AI, similar to some of the AI work that we've been doing. But in this case, this AI allows you to use text. And so we're going to do some fun stuff tonight. We're going to do a little project. I have a few ideas in my mind. I might need some help from the chat to get that thing done. And then we're going to finish it out with, well, it looks like we're getting some calls for Witcher in the chat. So we may start our Witcher run tonight, which, hell, who cares? That sounds fun. I love The Witcher. Like I said, I was playing Infinite. I'm like 90% done with the entirety of the story, all the way up to Heroic. And it's not giving me some achievements. So I was a little pissed off about that. Sorry for the popping peas here. Oh, look it. We got Ryan in the chat watching from a TV in the airport. So he's with us. It's the Adam and Ryan show. Ryan's just not, necessarily on camera right now. So moving on from ChatGPT, I think that's going to be a good segue into playing some Witcher a little bit later. But as I was saying, this Halo, I've got 90% of it done. Got all my heroic missions done, and it's still going to give me the unlock for the achievement for being on heroic. So it's like, what the hell? That kind of irritates the crap out of me. But without any further ado, let's get the show started. One thing I do want to show off, though, is these cool glasses that I just 3D printed. Let's see if I can get these. Here, this is the way you have to do it. You have to like mess with the focus a little bit. Look at these things. Oh God, are you gonna get it? Kind of. Oh God. It's like it blurs everything else out. Anyways, these are made. Yeah, we got to do a co-op run, Ryan, if you're ever going to do that. So these glasses were printed with a dichromatic, wait, is that what you call it? Dual dichromatic filament. Notice they're a little loose right here. So that's something that I'm going to have to work out. I think that some of the what do you call it? The sizing for some reason is a little off when I print in PLA versus PETG, so I don't know about that. All right, let's just jump into it. So first off, I wanted to talk about Dead Space because I'm a Dead Space fan, and so if you watched the stream, Dead Space 1 still looks amazing. It was back in 2008 that game came out, and I feel like it looks great. And one of the things that wait, hold on a second. Let me turn off some of these name keys there. Yeah, we don't need this on right now. So one of the things about it is that Dead Space 1 to me was perfect. Like, why remake the damn thing? But they went ahead and remade it. I started looking at some reasons as to why. Does it have local KF? You gotta jab people, don't you? No, I don't think it does. I think they screwed that up. They dropped local. You can only do it via Xbox Live, or you have to have multiple Xboxes to do it. But I think you can have up to 4 people in it. I tried to get my son to play it, and he's like, that game's boring. But guess what? If you are looking for a game that a younger child would want to play, you got to play High on Life. If you have not heard High on Life, shit, I should show a trailer for it. I think we're going to do that in a second, though. I started playing High on Life last night, and it was actually pretty fun. Let me see if I can get one for us, and we can take a look at what that is as well before we get too much into the Dead Space side of the life. High on Life. All right, I got one here. Let's take a look at it. Let's get this a little smaller right here. Yeah, it's made by Squanch Games. So if you don't know what Squanch, it's like the people that do Rick and Morty stuff. This is the game. I guess this is just their site that kind of shows it off. So you have this gun that talks to you the whole time. It's actually a pretty fun game. Let's go and see if I can just watch a YouTube video. How do I not have a YouTube video? Yeah, have you played it at all? Have you, Ryan? Because it's pretty damn fun. And I played all of their games that they've had. Like they've had the VR games. They had the and I can't even remember the damn names that they came out with. But it was a pretty fun. Okay, let's see here. Here's the official trailer on YouTube. Let's get everyone involved in the games that are out there. Let's see if I can get some commercials in front of it. Of course you have. Oh Jesus! All right, here we go. High on Life trailer. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty funny. Introduced to me by my son too. It's like a first-person shooter, platformer kind of game. Super violent. Yeah, I was thinking of doing it on the stream too. Maybe a different stream. There's so many games I want to play. But I've been playing this off to the side without streaming it. Super weird, but great. Your classic voices, Justin Roland, of course. They've been doing a good job of getting in the video game market, all I can say. If you haven't played it yet, the knife is hilarious. Actually, Stealth Mouse, you would love the knife. God, I want to show like a version of what that knife does because it's pretty funny. High and left knife. Let's see here. You got to at least see that. Oh, crap. Is there going to be just an easy one? Here it is. Maybe this is it.
Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, playing a little more High on Life, and in this video I'm going to show you how to grab another missable achievement, and this one is called Don't Knife the Hand That Feeds, for taking Knifey's advice and stabbing Jean in the gut. This happens during the beginning of the game after you grab Knifey in the first bounty mission for killing 9 Torg. Now keep in mind, because this is missable, we will only have one opportunity to grab this within the entire game, and if you miss this opportunity, you'll have to start a new playthrough on a new save slot. After grabbing Knifey and completing the 9 Torg bounty, you'll have to head back home in order to have a conversation with Jean. This conversation will last about 30 seconds to a minute, and at the end of the conversation, Jean will tell you to use the bounty hunter machine in the living room in order to
He's kind of giving away the story here.
However, don't do that right away. Instead, you want to click in the right stick.
All right, we're not going to show you this. I just wanted to show you a picture of Knifey. So this is Knifey on the left, and he only wants to stab people all the time. He's very stabby. And so, yes, Heather, you and I are going to play the hell out of this game if you enjoy it, because I think it's funny as shit, and you're going to love it. You're going to love exactly what it's at. So this is a guy, you're kind of your bounty hunter guide, so to speak, and then you got your gun. You got to see the origins of how you get the gun. You got your sister in the background there, and then you got Knifey, and he's very stabby, and he likes to kill things, and so in the entire game, he's going to be wanting to stab stuff a lot. Anyways, that was off the cuff, High on Life. Got to check that out. Something hilarious to check out. But I was going back into the Dead Space remake. I'm going to transition back to this right now. And the reason why I'm so excited about it is I found something out about it just yesterday that I didn't realize. And so I knew they were remaking the game in general. So it was just like a remake. And I'm like, okay, how is this going to run? It's just going to look better. But apparently they're tweaking it just a bit to where, it comes out on the 27th of January, 2023. It's a complete new remake of the first game. And if you played the first one, you would play a level and you'd get to a tram, and then the tram would kind of take you to the next section of the ship. Well, I guess in the remake, I don't know, maybe there's still a tram. I'm not sure on that part. But what they're doing is they're allowing you to just get around inside of the game without the tram. So it's like a fully complete ship, and you can fly around. And in the original game, Dead Space, when you're in zero Gs, it wasn't as fun because you had to always like shoot yourself and land on something. You couldn't just like float around in the world. So it was pretty sweet. Yeah, it was probably a loading thing. It was 2008. That was Xbox 360 that came out for. And so with this remake, let's just check out some of these things. I guess this is a reveal on some of this. Let's see if there's any discussion. So right off the bat, you can tell that the graphics are just super duper overhauled. Looks pretty realistic. Well, realistic for Xbox Series X. So this is the very first part of the game. It has like a little soft effect to it. I wonder if that's because, am I running this in HD? Yeah. I'm running this pretty smooth right here. Oh shit. Thanks for telling me I'm not sharing.
I can't reach security. Same for the chief engineer.
Yeah, I forgot that I'm also the director here, and I should be switching. Ryan's not here jabbing me with his elbow. No, but as I was saying, like, you can see kind of like this soft layer effect around anything, but it still looks really good. Super next-gen graphics, lighting, the atmospheric effects. I'm really interested to see what the saves were like. That was like the one part of the game that like pulled me out and then put me back in, because when it would like pause for just a second and you'd feel like you're out of the world. This is so the first part of the game. This looks badass. Now I really want to play it again.
That security console's still working. Isaac, get a damage report. I'm done playing around.
So they still have the little where you go, so that's good. So it seems like they kept a lot of the same thing. This is exactly how the first part of the game had started. Locked doors. You know there's going to be some craziness coming up. We're going to watch this first part together.
Oh God, that's
It's the one with the baby tentacles, yes.
What have you got, Isaac?
But this is a remake.
shit. It's not just comms with the guidance system. Half the Ishimura's in the red. Engines, hull, the trams.
Like, the first one was so good on the graphics. For them to like bump it up this much, to me, is pretty awesome. They just like put more crazy effects and things.
Ventilation's up. Power to the elevator should be.
Yeah. Sometimes remakes do make things worse, though.
All fine.
Like, they try to overdo it, overcompensate. The fact that they changed the game a little bit, I'm just anxious to see how this is going to work. They apparently put a new system in it, too, to where when you run through certain areas, it, like, throws different enemies at you. Okay, let's see the enemy. Yeah, that thing's looking pretty... Jesus. Why is his blood white? I like how he's just looking. He's just watching. He's not even trying to help. Like, all right, well, screw those guys. I'm out. So everything in game, the HUD, I love that. All right, so if it's like the original, it's gonna shove its little claws through the thing and scare you. See, look at its guts coming out. Ooh. Very bloody. I like it. It looks. I like how they just stay on there. Oh God, there's a commercial. Jesus. Oh God. Wait, where's my mouse? Oh, here it is. Sorry, I need to get that ad blocker, like you said, Disturbed. That was my bad. Don't go buy that insurance. Bad. Could be good. The thing about this is, it was a pretty scary game if you played it in the dark by yourself. So I can imagine that this is just gonna up the scariness. Ooh, you're making your weapon? Dang. That gun is my favorite gun of all weapons in all games. I'm serious. The plasma cutter is my all-time favorite weapon in any game. I'm just saying it here. He needs a knifey. Yeah, he does. Like one that's made out of plasma. A plasma knifey. This is pretty true to the original game. Just really, like, good graphics. Oh, yeah. So I heard that in this game, you have to, like, make decisions. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, shoot his leg off. Make it crawl to you. He was just, like, skating across the floor there. No, so they have this new mechanic in the game where apparently you go in and you have to make a decision. Do you cut your life support and have to use air canisters, or do you cut the lights so that you can conserve power to be able to do other things in the game? So, I don't know. Seems like maybe enough. Oh, he just straight up pick up that dude's hand. Oh, just so he could get the little, the stopper thing. That's great. All right. Well, anyways, Dead Space, I'm pretty stoked about this one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it look good? Looks pretty good, right? For a minute, it took me some time to figure out, is this, how new does it look? Is it gonna really be that different? I don't know. Looks like it is. I don't know if it's coming out on Game Pass though. It says it's coming out January 27, 2023. It was like $71 for some deluxe edition. So I don't know what the hell you get with deluxe edition, but I'm a sucker for Dead Space, so I'm kind of thinking about it. But that's like the pre, and then it's like $60 for the regular game. So we'll have to see how that all pans out. You know, I did look out how to build the suit for Dead Space, 3D printing it. One of the things is I really wanted the helmet, but I guess you make the helmet in like 3 or 4 different parts. Maybe it's more than 3 or 4. It was a lot of different parts to make it all and put it together. So I just never spent the time to do that, which I probably will as I start moving through this. So anyways, Dead Space remake 27th. I think I'm gonna definitely I'm definitely gonna play this because it looks too cool. And I love being able to watch this first part because now I'm really starting to see the differences. Like those little computers and stuff in here looks super crisp and clean. So EA has a thing with Game Pass. I didn't know that. I wonder if Activision is going to make it through. I know that they've been challenged as far as that acquisition by Microsoft, and then there would be a lot more games they'd be able to put in their thing. All right, let's see if this works. That guy's like creeping on him. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to get you." Yep, got to squish him. Well, there's a door over there. All right, go and put your clamp on. Wait a second. This just seems like he did it wrong. It's going very slow. All right, I'm gonna just watch this a little bit. I'm just how enthralled I am with this. Oh God, that guy came out of nowhere. He didn't seem very like coming at him. He's like sneaking. He must be playing on easy. How is that other one still engaged? Go push the button, dude. All right, so here was the tram from the original one. He pulled the tram in, and that gets it on the rails. Looks all jacked up. Look at the tram on the left-hand side, like something messed it up. See, there was never a door over on that other side. I don't remember in the first one. See to the upper left-hand side there, that little locked red door? Wasn't there before in the first one. These enemies are slow. Why would you even slow-mo that guy? It doesn't seem like it was necessary. You need to sprint, man. Get your sprint on. All right, we're almost done with this. Dang, this 11 minutes of this? I've played this game so many times. I just know that that door is not supposed to be there. So now I want to go and see what's inside that door. All right, I'm supposed to replace the damaged tram. I won't even let you out of this little area here. They're going to quit throwing these guys at you. Where did he come from? He fell from the ceiling. One of the things about games that I like to do is I explore the level like thoroughly because I always feel like I'm gonna miss out on some collectible. I was saying I was playing Infinite. I was going through the entire map, combing through it back and forth, and trying to find any little things that I missed along the way, which I did. I found some stuff that was pretty cool. All right, my take. This is raising my want to play this game. It looks really badass. Oh yeah, there's the shot. Oh, I remember this scene. You get smashed because of that. I guess I'm glad that they remade it. I think I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be good. So, what do you think? You want to see me play some Dead Space at some point? Because I definitely will. All right, let's get into it. So I've been playing with ChatGPT quite a bit, and if you have not played with ChatGPT, I suggest taking a look because I feel like it is the replacement. Now, Ryan and I talked about it a lot on here. We talked about just the future of AI, how things are changing. I've been reading a bunch more on Reddit. Actually, I'm just watching people's responses. Some people are pissed off right now because they changed some of the prompts so that you can't get some of the weirdo kind of responses that people wanted to get from it. And then there's also a couple other ways that you can get some responses that are pretty interesting. But I've been using it for work, interestingly enough, to try to get my ideas flowing on certain topics, not necessarily to just have it write responses for me, but to get me some insights on things that maybe I would not really think about too much, or I was trying to think about and I needed some gap fills in. So today, I think I want to try something a little bit interesting. Let's do a project today in ChatGPT. But before we get to the project, I think what we need to do first is start playing a little bit with the Simplify 3D, the new interface for the slicer. We'll jump into the ChatGPT shortly after that, and then we're gonna start some Witcher. We're gonna start fresh with some HD Witcher, and you know what? I'm gonna turn it on right now just to make sure that I actually have it updated so we don't mess this up. But before we get there, let's just take a quick look at ChatGPT just so you can kind of see what this is about. If you haven't seen this interface right now, it will respond to you multiple times. So it will remember your conversation. So if you keep asking it things, it will continue to remember and continue adding to the things that you add it in text. Very interesting. But before we do that, let's just talk a little bit about Simplify 3D, and then maybe even get, let's see here, what filament do I have on there? Ooh, I have the dual filament. Okay, let's get on there. So you are seeing Simplify 3D right now, and it's in dark mode. I'm pretty excited about that. So dark mode was something. I'm going to take my camera away just for a second, just so you can kind of see the whole interface. So got my glasses on there, as you can see. And so Simplify 3D, like I said, is a tool to be able to slice and dice your 3D prints so that you can send over to a printer. Now, one of the things that is new with this interface is, of course, it looks generally a little bit better. Now, it still looks older. Over on the right-hand side, you're going to see that it has some of these different tools that you used to be able to use your support structures. This was just your basic, I guess, info menu that gives you all the different transforms for scaling and rotation, all those kind of fun things. They have this new mode. Well, I don't even know how actually new this is, but it's like a cross-section mode. So if I enable cross-section, you can kind of look at your model and you can pull it up and down, and you can kind of see what the model would look like without it being actually cut. It's not like what am I saying? Not a cross-section of the 3D printed piece, but of the model itself. Like, is there any issues with it, or what does it look like all the way through it? So that's a neat little tool that they had in there. Yeah, is it Dave? I think I was talking about Dan. I think it's Dan. That's the one that's in there. You were talking about ChatGPT. And then this is your machine control. So I don't actually have it direct connected to the machine, but what you can do is you can just direct connect your computer to machine, send out prints directly from Simplify, control the machine, see a lot of the different things, change things as it prints. So things that were in the first one, they tuned it up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my frames, and we're gonna just put a benchy in here just so you can kind of get the whole effect, and we're gonna play with it just for a little bit, look at some of the new tools, and then we'll move on. So if I do my normal import, you got to go and find where your import's gonna come from. Let's see here. I'm putting this on the desktop, and there's my benchy. Boom. There's little benchy. So if you know, benchy is the model you 3D print just to kind of test a bunch of your stuff when you have a 3D printer. I just, maybe I'll print it today. I don't know. Might be worth it. But one of the things that you can do with a benchy, or what I like to do, is show off some of the things that this program can do. So let's go back to this little cross section, and I'm going to go through it so you can kind of see all the different features in a benchy. So it starts out, there's some text at the bottom. It's pretty solid. There's a little hole in there. You can see that as you go across it, there's all these little parts and circles and curves and ways that it tries to print a bridge. So you can see, like right here, it prints a bridge. You can do a lot of that. So pretty cool to look at the cross section. But one of the new tools that it has is when you do your supports. So it's called a bulk manual supports. And so if you add multiple supports, let's see here if I could do it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Is I just click and then drag, and it'll just like add the supports. Like before you had to just click, like click, 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 click one at a time like this. And it would do that, but now you could just like drag it around and it's going to add the supports everywhere that you want those supports to be added. So if you had a really complex model, like you don't usually support a benchy like this, it could be really handy to be able to just like grab it and then like pull those supports. And then I think, does it have remove? Yeah, so you can just like drag your mouse across it. And one of the things about this is that supports have been a big chunk of what Simplify 3D does well, because you could go ahead and put supports in places using the slicer, which usually slicers didn't do that well. But like I had said at the beginning of the show, Cura is a slicer that's free that actually does a lot of these things pretty well. So all the stuff that I'm showing off in here isn't going to be as impressive because you can get it for free nowadays. Now, as you start looking, there's all these different icons and things across the board that you can look at. I'm not going to play with all of them, but some of these at the top are just like a button to adjust camera angles quickly. So you can just look at your product pretty fast, spin it around, see it pretty easily without having to zoom in and out. But I've gotten my mouse controls down pretty good, so I can zoom out and do that. The ones at the bottom are a little different. You can, it just allows you to move the model around, duplicate it, do some sizing things. So it's like cool little features that make it look neat. I think they rewrote the entire Simplify 3D to get it here, but where it really comes into play in terms of some of the newer things, and one of the reasons I decided to get it, was because I wanted to take a look at this infill feature that it has. So on this left-hand side, you'll see that it says processes here. And of course, I put my camera right when I need to show this thing. So these processes are almost like saved versions of different processes that I could do for different kind of filament types. So PETG, PLA, TPU. If I go into edit my processes, generally you can give it different names. I've already saved a profile, so to speak, for PETG, and then I can go ahead and add different things. So if I always printed my glasses a specific way, I might want to print it with a specific heat and an infill or whatever like that. I could create a whole profile just for my glasses and I'll have it saved in here. Pretty neat stuff. But what I wanted to show you today, let's do this in PLA. I'm going to edit the process settings. I'm going to go to the infill, and one of the new features that it has is these new infill patterns. So they already had rectangular, is that how you say it? Rectangular, whatever. No, this is an update from one Disturb. Sorry, I didn't see your chat there. This is an update from a software that I already had, and so I just wanted to kind of show off some of the updates here. Is really what I'm showing today. So that's all. Okay, one of the other things about the software, like I was saying though, is these infill patterns that are pretty cool. Yeah, rectangular. Is it rec? There's no ang. There's no tang in there. Rectilinear. I bet you that. All right. Safe travels. Hopefully you're not with Southwest. We'll see you on the other side, Ryan. All right. So one of the things that I was playing with, let's just try gyroid. I'm going to hit OK on the gyroid. And so when I infilled it with gyroid, if I prepare it to print it, I got to put it on PLA here. Okay, let's go into it. So look at this infill pattern. Oh, that looks so cool. Look at that. Now, this isn't anything really new. I think other places have it. So that little pattern that kind of goes back and forth with the waviness, that's new. I wasn't able to ever print in that before. Let's exit out of here. Let's try another one. So in our infill, that was gyroid. I never tried cubic yet. Let's see what cubic does. I hate that it keeps doing this. All right, let's hit it like this. This is what, cuboid? All right. So it's like a cube, but it's 45-degree angled cube. So all of these patterns would make sense depending on the kind of print. You wouldn't just randomly pick it for something. You would pick it based off of the need. So let's see here. I think octahedral. That one sounds cool. Let's try that one. octahedral. Ooh. It was like, it's kind of like cubes, but then it like switches it up a little bit. That one looks pretty neat. So as you can see, there's some additions to this. It looks a little bit nicer. Some of the buttons are just much more accessible than they were before, like center and arrange, all these different things that it used to have. One of the things that you can easily do now too has, not that it was hard before you had to go up to edit and you'd be able to duplicate models, which apparently you can still do, which is a good thing. But they also have it now in this panel at the bottom. You can click it and say, how many copies do you want? And hit OK. And then it'll put a bunch of benchies on there, and then you can center and arrange them. It'll put them on the bed, and you can do a lot of things if you're going to do some 3D printing pretty quickly. So I think tonight, might as well, let's just print a 3D benchy. Let's do this. Center and arrange this guy, and I'm going to print them out. And the reason I want to do that, because I want to print them in that new filament, see how this goes. So let's edit the process. Let's see what our infill is. So we got a 20% infill. Let's see here. What is this one called? Sinusoidal. Sinusoidal. I don't know what the hell. Let's see what this one looks like as far as the print is concerned. So if I go in with this print, it's got to look cool. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's as cool. I mean, it's like little pills. I think the one I liked the most was that first one I did. The gyroid. I think it was gyroid. We're going to do that one. Yep. We're gyroiding this. We're going to prepare it to print on the PLA. And let me go get my card. And let's get this going. So we're going to test out the benchy print at a 20% infill. We definitely need to have a benchy of that particular flavor here. So I export this to the card. Let's put it on there. And let's see here. This is going to be TPU, or PLA. Or not TPU. I did use some TPU earlier, so I'm going to call this one benchy. And we should save that. All right, so did I even turn on my GoPro back there? Which I did, which is good. Look at this. I think I have a new camera. It's not really new. I just swapped the camera around so I can flip it around and we can see what's going on over there if we wanted to. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and get this set up back there. Let's check it out. Of course, I didn't turn my monitor on back here. Hold on, let me do that. Because I got to be able to see what's going on in the back. Otherwise, it's not going to be fun for me. Okay, I can see myself. So let's just try this little camera out. So what I was doing over here is I was getting this thing ready to go. It's actually pretty nice. And I auto home this thing right here. So what I'm doing right now is just getting this little guy to be in the home location. And we're going to print. All right, so we are starting up. We got to get it 60 on the bed, and then that's like a, what is it, 220? I think about 220 to be able to get everything else set up. But before we jump into it, so what we're going to be printing tonight is a benchy. So here's our little benchy. Let's see here. So this is a PLA benchy. And what you can see here is kind of what it might look like on the bottom. You're going to have some writing. This one didn't do very good on the bottom, I don't feel like. But it actually, you could see that these layers are real nice. A little bit of noise right up there, but generally this is a good print benchy. So what we're going to do is we're going to 3D print one of those guys, and then in this filament, let me grab the filament. Actually, it wasn't filament, but this was the glasses that I just printed. This is the material that I'm going to be doing in it. Thanks to Talon. He got me this. Like I was saying, they're a little wobbly on the arms for some reason, so I'd have to work on that on the PLA version of the print. I think it's just because of how it prints. They still snap in there. They're pretty snazzy. But I wanted to show you something cool about these glasses. See in the upper corners here? Yeah. Put my logo. These glasses look pretty sick. Look at those colors. It's like I guess that would be a red bluish pink. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so we are on there. Oh, let me turn off the mic. All right, so yeah, it's like a magenta to a blue. You know what it reminds me of is like those 80s, I don't know, like He-Man or Thor Ragnarok. You know the colors that they use in those things? Man, it's a cool filament. I love it. It's PLA, so that's probably the only challenge that I have is that it's a little bit more brittle, it seems, and it also does not have the same kind of heat temperature issue things that I would mess with. Yeah, bright neon colors. So, but while we're waiting for that to heat up, let's do some ChatGPT because I talked about that and I talked about a project. And so one of the things I was thinking with the ChatGPT, so we're gonna look at this. This should take, oh my god, it's gonna take 3 hours on PLA. Yeesh. And the reason why it's gonna take 3 hours is because I slowed it down so it'll do it a little bit better. So it'll be cool to have a boat in that kind of filament. All right, ChatGPT. It's really good. All right, I'm gonna show you something that's pretty interesting here. Gotta bounce. See ya. All right, I am going to show you my green screen though. If you haven't seen this, so I'm gonna turn this on. So you see behind me. See, you still see the studio. Watch this magicness. You see that? Background disappeared. It's amazing. So now I'm just chilling on ChatGPT. Okay, so let's jump into it and let's figure out some of the things in regard to ChatGPT. So one of the things that I found was that you can ask it some questions and it's going to give you some pretty decent answers. You can have it also answer you in a lot of different kind of ways. What I wanted to do was make what is an OER, Open Educational Resource. And so if you're not familiar with that term, what people will do is go write free books and they'll put those books online for anybody to use and learn from. And so I thought, what a cool way to be able to use ChatGPT than to use to make our own little OER today. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to create actually what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to pop this over to the side. I'm going to create a new document and we're going to build our document right here. So the first thing, we'll call this one, let's call it Chat GPT. And what's the date today? 12/29/2022. And we're going to call this 3D printing guide. This is just to show the power, also make a 3D printing guide, okay? So the first thing that you might think is, well, just ask it to make a 3D printing guide, which you could do, and it would probably give you some things. Now, there's some limitations of what you can do with this. It's not going to give you like an entire book. It's going to cut off at a certain point. So one of the first things you might want to do is you want to ask it a question that gives it more of a general kind of insight, and then you're going to start baking it down a little bit more. So the first thing I want to say is, I don't know, I'm really kind of kind and nice, and I always say please. I mean, it's an AI, but whatever. Maybe it'll think I'm a kind. So please produce, or should I say write? Please write out a topical outline. Is that topical outline on the basic process for FDM 3D printing in, let's say, PLA, PETG, and, well, let's see here, and TPU. Oh, those are my favorites. Let's do this. PLA plus too. I'll put PLA plus. So let's see if this works. So we got please write out a topical outline on the basic process for FDM 3D print. Oh wait. Let me think about this better. Please write out a topical outline on the basic processes. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna take off the PLA, and we'll add this in a later question, in a later thing. It says, write a topical outline on the basic process for FDM 3D printing. Let's just see what that does. All right. So is this an outline or is this bullet points? And while it's writing that out, guess what? Our 3D printer is about to go and do some 3D printing. So let's check this out here. Feel like I should be going over there and cleaning that off. Let's see how well it does without me cleaning it off. Because I got my screen up right now. I feel like I should go take that thing off. All right. We'll see how it goes. Let's see if it falls off itself. I'm doubting that it will. Uh-oh. It's a little too high on that side. Oh, yeah. Pull it off. That's looking pretty good for without me even being back there. Uh-oh. I better go back there. Hold on a second. So I got to do a little work here. Oh, it looks good. Upon closer analysis, I think we're good. All right. Gotta love that. Gotta love the 3D. All right, let's see here. Going back over to our ChatGPT. Design a 3D model. Okay, we got that. Prepare 3D model. So we were just talking about that. Slicing the model into thin layers. We got that. Setting up the print. You need to set up your print. So leveling the bed. Okay, so we got some initial ideas here. So we're going to use this outline to kind of feed our next pieces. So I'm going to chuck that into the chat. Not chat, but into our thing here. So designing the model, I don't think we care about that because that's something that's going to be a little bit outside of there. And then the 3D model for printing. So that's good because I said write a topical outline for the basic process. And so they're saying you got to design a model or get a model and then you have to prepare it for printing. So I think where I wanted to do is create more of a guide for using a 3D printer itself. The designing the model and getting it all prepped is that's stuff for other videos and other OERs. So I think where I want to home in on is, let's see here, setting up the printer, slicing the model. So probably, let's try this. So give a chapter outline of the exact processes needed to print a 3D model using a FDM printer. Let's cover tuning. Oh, let's see here. Would tuning be the right word? Bed leveling, and preparing a model in the slicer. What other things would you need to do? Bed leveling. There's so much little things. Tuning. Let's just try that. Preparing the model in a slicer. And tips for ensuring the print comes out well. All right, let's see how this goes. Bed leveling. Nice. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is the first shot in the dark gave me some insights, gave me some things to think about. Let's start to build out this guide. Next, I was able to home in onto a very specific part. I found that, hey, that was too broad of a question. I want to jump into something. So check this out. Bed leveling, preparing a model for a slicer, ensuring a successful print. So the first thing is, introduction to bed leveling. It's important. Okay, that's fine. Step-by-step guide to leveling your printer. Tips for achieving bed level. Okay, a feeler gauge. Using a feeler gauge and adjusting the bed screws. All good stuff. So our OER is starting to come together. So I'm going to copy these out, and I'm going to put these down here because it's starting to become what our book is going to look like. So the next thing is I'm going to feed it this exact same stuff, and I'm going to say, write a chapter of this OER book. I don't even know let's say this, of this book. I don't even need to say OER. Of this book about 3D printing. That covers. And then we're just going to feed it exactly what it just told us. See what it comes up with. Okay, so as you can see, instead of it just saying, hey, write the book in totality, what we're doing is we're breaking it down into its chunks, and we're able to start to think about it in the ways that you want to think about it. Let's see if this bed leveling crucial step. Yep. Ensures that the print bed level properly aligned. This is all good. Okay, importance. The first layer adheres properly. So as we talk about that, this is what it's talking about, making sure these layers come down well, because if that first layer doesn't adhere to the bed, you're going to have a problem because you're not going to be able to create your 3D print pretty successfully. So check this out. My goodness. Chapter 1. Very good. So we got our chapter 1. I'm going to take this little introduction here, and I'm going to put that back into our book. And so I'm going to repeat that process here. And I'm just going to take my original guide, and I'm going to say write a chapter. And we're going to put the next chunk of that chapter in there. And of course, I wouldn't just take this as is. What I'd most likely do is I would go ahead and tune it up a little bit and make sure that it has good English. Probably check out some stuff. So now we're talking about the chapter on preparing a model in a slicer. So let's see if it even gives you ideas on the slicer. It's talking about how critical it is to make that G code with a slicer. So in this part of the section, like I said, I'm skipping this as I go along. It's pulling information from about 2021 and before. So anything that it was trained on, I think a lot of the stuff on the internet, it's pulling from there. So pretty relevant information. Let's see here. Use a low layer height to achieve high print quality. Okay, fair enough. So it's getting to the optimization steps here. So as you can see, these chapters aren't going to be too long. Now, if I wanted to get more information, and as I start to write this OER, I might decide to go in and say, hey, give some more detailed information on whatever that next chunk is going to be. So let's see here. So for instance, if I was looking at this and I'm like, you didn't give as much information on this step-by-step guide, like put this more detailed, I could say that as well. But to continue with what we've been already doing, I'm going to just do the same thing. So all my my chapters are going to have the same kind of flavor. Is I'm going to ask the same exact prompt and put that in there. And let's see here. The last guide was ensuring a successful print. Perfect. So let's throw that in there, and we're going to have that one write it out. So we have, within a matter of what? I mean, it has not been that long, probably 15, 20 minutes that I've been working at this, and you already have a well-formed chapter OER on how to bed level. prepare a model in the slicer and make sure you got a successful print, which is pretty key for doing anything with 3D printing. And especially around the holidays, this is a great time. This is when people usually get 3D printers. They try it a few times, get frustrated, and throw those things out or give them to a friend because they didn't go through some of the steps. It isn't as easy to use a 3D printer as sometimes people make it look. A lot of tinkering, a lot of little fails. I mean, for me to be able to do this live like this and to show this took a lot of time, like to build my confidence up in this 3D printer. All the time that I spend leveling this sucker outside of what you guys see is insane. So right now, I think we got our OER somewhat set up. So let's see here. I never selected the right thing for that first chapter. I'm going to make sure I do that right now. So let's see here. Here we go. Under introduction. I think it was this one. Chapter outline, bed leveling. Okay, here it was. Chapter 1, bed leveling. Put that in there. All right. So there we go. Now I have a full book that really starts to talk about how to do this. Now, this isn't copyrighted. This hasn't been taken from somebody and stolen. It's been trained on it. So what I'm going to do next, I'm not going to do this on camera, is I'm going to go in and let's see here. Oh, there I am here. Here is our final version of kind of what we did. So the first question just gave me some insights on what we wanted to do. And then I jumped in a little bit deeper and we started looking at, here is our topical outline. And then I went in and I had it write out very specific guides for each one of these 3 chapters. And so I'll post this link onto this video on YouTube. You can check it out below. See what you think about this guide. Does it help you out? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So ChatGPT, I think, is just an amazing tool. It's going to change our future. I really feel like it's something that's pretty interesting. One of the things that's pretty funny is that it has a lot of great ways that it can respond beyond just doing like exact things like this. So for instance, let's see here. I'm going to ask it a pretty funny question just to kind of finalize this. Write a summary about 3D printing by 3D printing leveling like you are a sarcastic valley girl. All right, let's see how that works. So this is what I love about ChatGPT. Oh my gosh, bed leveling is seriously the most important thing to 3D printing. Like, no joke. Oh my god, I love it. Because you could put these tones and these different kinds of ways that you put it on there. So, I mean, if your bed isn't level, your print is basically doomed to fail. Like, it's just not worth even trying to print. The bed isn't level. I mean, who wants a warped, uneven print? Gross. Oh my lord, I swear I love this thing. So I got to put that in the chapter book. You know what? That's going to be our intro in the book. Let's see here. We're going to start it right here. I'm going to put it right here. That's great. I should do a forward like that for everyone in a Valley Girl. Talk about bed leveling, talk about the modeling in the slicer. Oh, so good. So good. Okay, so we've got through some ChatGPT. What do you think? I mean, is this going to change the future? Is this how things are going to look? Now here's something that's pretty interesting. It looks like I'm in my studio right now, right? But I have my green screen on, so this is going to look a little weird. Watch this. I've been practicing this a little bit. You have to understand what that's all about to understand what just happened. That was a little loud. All right, let me turn that off there. All right, let's take a look at this before I jump into my game, because I know if we start looking at the game, it's going to be something that I'm going to get immersed into. So the 3D printing is looking pretty decent right now. Let's see here. Let's look at this this cam here. Now you could see that's that what was it? Cuboid? Did I do cuboid? No, it wasn't cuboid. Gyroid. Looks like it's going pretty well. I could just be mesmerized by watching it do layers. I've been sitting here for many a times doing it just by looking at that. All right, so I feel like the 3D print's good. That's a 3-hour print. We're about to jump into some Witcher pretty soon here. So if you have not seen my Witcher series before, which it really wasn't a series, but I did a couple just random goes at Witcher, and they were just one-offs when I was playing through. So I played a couple hundred hours on The Witcher. It became one of my favorite games, honestly, one of my favorite of all time. And the reason why is because they just left every little tiny detail in there, and then there's so many like story points that connect across the game after many hours. I love the idea behind being this Witcher, this like modified human being that allows you to go through and have these cool little interactions with people. And then of course you're a badass that has multiple swords and potions and things that you create to fight monsters. And if you haven't read the books, you haven't watched the series on Netflix, there's all kinds of media around this. The books is where it all started. I personally like the game, probably one of the best, because then you really get to get immersed into it. So what happened is that Project Red, Project? God, I can't even remember the name. You'll see in just a second. But the studios came back, did the high-res remaster of the entire game, put it out this December. I think it was on the 14th of December. So I was pretty stoked about that. I'm going to start fresh. Starting new, getting rid of the character that I had before. We're going to play through Witcher with you here on the stream. Double drop down. It's not going to be an Adam and Ryan show stream. It's going to be more of just an Adam stream as I see fit. I think I'm going to try to do it on Tuesdays if I can, but I'll probably end up doing it other days of the week as I see fit. Hopefully I'll stream most of it. It's hard for me sometimes to want to come into the stream room and do it because I'm sitting comfortably in my bed and I want to play a video game over there. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's see how this works. Oh, got to turn off that. All right, let's jump into my 3D environment. I just think that's like so disingenuous because that's just a picture. This is a picture right here of my background. It's not actually my background. And I did that because I might need to cut to this front camera, and you can see kind of around me right here, it's a little green, and that's because I got a green screen behind me. So let's go into the game mode and see what we got up here today. All right, it's up. Here we go. Witcher time. See, I've been playing a lot of that Infinite, but we're jumping in. We're doing it. We're doing The Witcher. Complete edition. It says quick resume. Not sure I want to do that. No, I don't want a quick resume. I just want to play the game. You're playing on Xbox One S. Play here instead. Yeah. We're playing here instead. You need a controller for this game. Duh. This is the game that I have. Okay, here we go. Here we are. Let's see here. I think I have to change the display, though. Graphics here. So it's on ray tracing. We've got motion blur on. We played with this last time. Camera lens effect. Okay, I guess that's fine. Let's see what this gamma does. I need a little bit lighter because last time was too dark. There we go. All right. We ready for this? I feel like I started this game, or at least we watched it with Higley last time, but we're going to have to do a new one. We're starting it all the way. Fresh start. Yeah. Wait, new game plus. What's that? Play the game new plus mode includes any installed expansions. Start playing this mode. Load a game save you created after completing the base game. Fresh start. All right, cool. That's what we're doing. Story and sword. This is gonna be a story. Happy to be challenged. Yes, that's fine. We're gonna do that. Tutorials will be off. I don't know. Should I do it? Simulate a Witcher 2 save? Sure, whatever. Are you want? Yes. We're gonna start a new game. Hell yeah. Double drop down. Witcher. Brutal. Some people say I look like the Witcher. Was that choppy? Can tell. Yeah, it's high def. He's all glistening. Oh god. That would be all up on my shit right then by that point. I would not be into this.
You know I don't find that amusing.
Ooh.
It wasn't meant to amuse, but to prod you to hurry. It's midday already. You promised Ciri you'd train with her. Go before Vesemir bores her to death with those etchings.
He's got scraped up.
Later then.
See you later.
Hola. Yeah, get a kiss. Smoochy, smoochy. It's very interesting relationship they have. He's sneaking a peek. She had to boot her computer. That's why she made that noise. It's unlike Windows. All right. So, I am the Witcher, and I have a bunch of senses. If you've never played this game, don't know anything about the lore, this is Witcher 3, but they, probably one of the better ones. So, I'm going to use my Witcher senses right now to kind of explore this area here. What do we find over here? So, see that red?
Nothing but silver.
Gold clashes with my complexion. You should know that.
All right, that's not what we're looking for. So, because I'm a Witcher, I have some abilities. I can turn things on and off fire-wise. It's a nice way to do this. This is how I do. This is my honey. My honey. Her name is Yennefer. What's up, baby? How you doing? I like how you touch your hair like that in front of the mirror. Looks so good. Ooh, look at your little dress. You want to put your dress on, baby?
Got any clothes that aren't black or white?
Undergarments.
Ooh, undergarments. All right, let's see what else we can find in here. So, looting is a thing. I saw the word loot come up on there. Did you see that loot word? Let's see if it's over here. It disappeared, though. The hell did it go? It was like a glitch. Damn it. If I would have hit fast enough, I may have looted something. Uh-oh. I see some special sparkles over here. What does this have to do? Yeah, I got the key. It was on this book. Wait, what's this?
Lilac and gooseberries, of course.
Geralt, stop fingering my toiletries.
Yo. Stop fingering the toiletries. You know what? I gotta check out outside. This is the next gen version. This is the shot. Oh my god, look at this.
Mountain Pass is beautiful as ever.
Good god. Yes, it is. Look at that. And you get to explore all of this. That's what's so badass about this game. This is not even a game. This is life now. I'm putting myself in Witcher mode. If you've ever seen me play Witcher, I just talk like I am the Witcher. We gotta go meet some people together. It's gonna be a good time. This is where I take my baths. I'm about ready to get this on. Where's my swords? Let's go teach my... Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I got some more red over here. What's this?
You're running out of juice.
I know. You might bring me some more once you're done training.
Yes, ma'am. All right. We're outies. So Kaer Morhen, you know, this is where I grew up. My boy Vesemir, you know, it's kind of like my only dad that I ever knew. Taught me everything I know. Hey, Vezi.
Old Witcher's fast asleep. Ciri's disappeared somewhere, of course.
He got bored. I gotta get my beard on.
Guess she prefers practice to theory.
What?
Time to wake up, Master. These lessons so boring they put you to sleep too.
Damn it.
After taking notes on ghouls and owl ghouls, wanted to rest my eyes a bit.
Making her slog through that brick? No wonder she took off.
John of Bruges lacks flair, true, but he's reliable. Not like the hogwash they print nowadays. She's tackling the pendulums, right? How many times do I have to tell her? Don't train alone. It only embeds your errors. Bring our young damsel to the lower courtyard. She wants to practice, she'll get to practice.
Don't get mad at her.
Why the hell not? The whippersnapper refuses to do as she's told.
You like that about her.
Fine. I suppose I'm partly to blame. But this has to end. Now. Killing monsters is not something to be taken lightly. Ciri must understand that, if she's to become one of us. I'll see you below.
Let's do it. Ciri's a badass.
Wrong. Now I see why you were so eager to practice. Strike.
I remember when I used to dance like this. Ooh. Took out her sword. Oh, snap. She got it back. She's blindfolded.
You're not in a circus. Pirouette. Wrong. Footwork.
He's a dick. I'm a dick.
Enough. Get down.
Get off of there, Ciri. What were you thinking?
With a flip?
Blindfolded.
All right. Take off the blindfold.
You did good,
You've
kid.
got work to do. Your reflexes are still slow.
Maybe for a witcher.
Think drowners or striggers will go easy on you because you haven't undergone the mutations? Though in your shoes, I'd fear Vesemir more than any strigger. Disobeying his instructions? Unwise.
Well, yes, but that book was horribly dull.
I know. And you know that's no excuse.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Let's see here. I don't know. I don't know if I believe her.
Sorry's not good enough. You're gonna read Ghouls and Owl Ghouls in its entirety. Appendices included.
Learn
No,
about it.
please. I'd rather clean the stables.
End of discussion. Come on. We'll practice with the others down below.
Shall we run the
You gotta
walls?
read the book. All right, what do we want to do? Let's just run the walls just for the heck of it.
Of course. This a Witcher school or an elven bathhouse?
To the bottom.
Oh, we're
Maybe
doing a
if you
race.
fall.
Oh crap. Am I supposed to race against her? Shit. She's gonna beat me. I'm trying to remember how to do all my things now. Yeah. Gotta get those controls back. Oh crap. I almost killed myself.
What did I tell you about breathing? Through your mouth, in rhythm with your steps.
Yeah, boy.
Siri, cut it
yeah.
out.
Wait, where am I going? Down this way. Go down this hole. Whee! And hurt myself. I think I'm beating her. I'm not sure yet, though.
I win.
Your legs are longer. I'll show you yet. Just need to grow a bit.
See? Oh, shoot. I gotta go down there. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There's Lambert. Hey, Lamb.
Anything to say for yourself, young lady?
I'm very sorry, Uncle Vesemir.
Young blood craves action, I understand that. But when you fight a beast, knowledge counts as much as your silver sword. At the very least, you ought to be able to tell a ghoul from an owl ghoul.
By markings, like unto the Panthera tigris that in Zerrikania dwells, and by the sickly paleness of its visage.
So you did read the chapter. Still, you should have asked if...
But you were asleep, Uncle Vesemir.
Oh, she knew it all. Could have said you did the exercise while Vesemir was asleep.
So you did the reading. Why not admit it right off?
Never pounce on an advantage as soon as it appears. Wait till it stands to have maximum effect. Uncle Vesemir.
Oh, she's a smarty.
Wow, you're a quick study. Quick, but mischievous. Fine, we've talked enough. Geralt, you're with me, Lambert with Eskel, Ciri with the dummy.
Again?
Stop groaning and grab a sword. What do you think? Should we start by reviewing the fundamentals or go right to free training?
Let's just, for the hell of it, since we're starting, do the whole training.
Should work on the basics. Even skilled masters need to hone the fundamentals, and Ciri's barely a novice.
Yeah, let's get this thing kicked off a little. Just so we have a proper knowledge of The Witcher.
Draw your sword, Geralt.
All right. So I got a sword. We got a sword, so I got to draw it.
Talk later.
Oh, crap. How do I draw my sword?
Giving
Oh,
you
it's
no
that
choice.
one. All right. Here we go. Vesemir's too much. Aim at Vesemir. We're going to aim. Aim at Vesemir. Mark him as your target. All right. I'm aiming. I'm aiming. I don't know if I'm actually done that yet.
What now?
Oh, wait. Oh, sweet. I did not know you could do that. I just learned something today. Can you always do that? You can change your your signs.
Come on!
Oh, that's good. Okay, how do I aim? Aim at Vesemir. Aim at Vesemir. All right, fast attack. Fine, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, I can't fast attack him. Can't strong. Okay.
Damn it!
So I feel like I'm aiming at him. Is there a way to aim at him differently? So that's how I change my ARD. Now, I'm not stupid. I've played this for hundreds of hours, but I'm not sure what it's asking me to do right now. So it says to aim. So I'm going to put my sword up. Well, you know what? I'll stop talking.
Who's next?
I'm going to change this over to the Witcher. We're doing some Witcher right now. There we go. There we go. We're in the proper area here. Okay, so you got to tell me how you aim. Because the last way I remember doing it is you would use, like if you had a bow and arrow, you would use that.
Come on! At them!
Feels like I'm aiming.
Quick cuts! 1, 2, 3!
Oh, there we go. You click. You click in to aim.
What the blazes are you doing? Strong strikes now. Give it all you got. Never lock your elbow when striking, young lady.
Ever fight a Witcher?
Tomfoolery! Enough! Damn it!
Ooh.
Dodge.
Position, Ciri. Footwork.
Slow as a fly trapped in amber today. Do it again. Slow as a
Oof.
fly trapped in amber today. Do it again. Slow as a fly trapped in amber today. Do it again.
Hey, here we go. There we go. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, yeah. Roll.
Oh, is a fly trapped in amber today.
I have to roll.
Do it again. Oh, is a fly trapped in amber today. Do it
Hey,
again.
how do I roll? Ooh, there's a roll. Yeah.
Parry. Siri, see how Geralt holds his sword? It's angry.
What am I supposed to parry? Fighting a stupid dummy.
Pretend now, live later. Riposte! Strike! Counter strike!
Ooh, I didn't do. Oh wait,
Slice
counter
ridiculous.
strikes. Oh, I'm not doing good at my counter strikes. Let's try this. I wonder if you're hearing my buttons there. Ooh, that was a punch. Whoa! Punched you in the butt. In the buttons, buddy.
Now, young lady.
Uh-huh.
Bring the day to a close, we'll go over a few witches' signs. Let's start with Gwen.
We're gonna do which one?
Next.
We're gonna do Quinn. I gotcha.
Jump, Siri. Gwen is sometimes called the Witcher's Shield. Now watch carefully to see why.
She's just punching. She's not watching shit.
Ask Igni, Geralt. I want to see sparks fly.
Ooh, you want some Igni here? Alright, let's see here.
See? If not for the Gwen... Alright, Geralt.
You kinda
Come
kinda.
on.
Which one you want? Oh, you want some Ard. Ooh.
Jump! See that, Siri? Ard will knock anyone or anything off balance. Destroy their rhythm. Time for Axie. Damn it. I hate this feeling.
Yes, you're gonna hate this one.
Axie can really muddle your mind. Erden now. Show her, Geralt.
Yurden is not gonna hurt him.
I'm too old. See this, Siri? Throw a bomb. Don't worry, Siri. Gwen will dampen the blow.
Alright, let's try a training bomb. Ooh!
Not bad.
The heck?
Had enough?
Throw a bomb at the training post. Oh, I see what I'm supposed to do. Boom. Stand in the highlighted spot. Throw a bomb at the training post. Okay. Sorry. Let's see here. Let's aim at this one. Is it the post you want? Yeah.
Enough. Continue training at will.
Oh, Jesus. Vesemir.
Pathetic. Come on, at them.
Vesemir's gonna kill me. Let's see here. Let's Axie this motherfucker. Oof. I'm done. I'm out. You and your magic.
Whoa! You really showed him, kid.
Siri, get down here.
A little she-devil. Soon as she's back, we'll set her to polishing all the swords at Kaer Morhen.
Find that helmet? Siri?
Siri?
I'll make sure to find every last blade for you. What the? Vesemir.
I've long awaited this, and you, White Wolf.
No!
Very concerning imagery here. Yeah, there's my beard.
You all right?
Had a nightmare.
About?
Take forever to explain.
Dawn's some way off. We've got time.
Let's talk it through. So, if you play Witcher with me, you're gonna, I don't know why I'm putting that in accent. I started talking stupid. But if you play Witcher, I'm gonna go through storyline like a motherfucker. So, welcome to Witcher 3, The Hunt. We're gonna check it out.
Started in the guest room at Kaer Morhen. I was relaxing in a tub, and next to me,
And Kylea, what's up?
Jennifer.
Thanks for the lurk. I know you're not out there right now, but thanks for
Seems
checking
so
it out
real in
tonight.
my dream, though.
Was she nagging you about something? True to life, indeed. We'll find her.
I know we will. That's not what worries me. You've seen her tracks. She's at full gallop all the time. Breakneck speed through wildlands.
So it looks like when there's
devastating
two
battlefields.
lines
She's in a hurry to get somewhere.
of
Fleeing something. Either way, it means trouble of some sort.
Be surprised
this
if she wasn't
captions is when the thing
She's
screws
always
up.
poked her
I'm gonna have to
nose
figure out
in
how to fix that.
beehives. Courtly
We'll fix it one of these days. You're gonna have to deal with it for now.
What do you expect?
Don't know. Guess I thought once we were finally reunited, things would be calm. At least for a while.
Calm? With Yennefer? Good luck.
Oh, Yennefer.
In the dream, I went and found Ciri. Then we trained.
Those were the days. Little she-devil. I've trained kids who were faster, stronger, but none had her character. Didn't end well, did it? Your dream.
No.
Check.
A wild hunt appeared, attacked Ciri. I couldn't move, stood there like a stump.
It was just a dream.
That's the problem. It was more. In the past, when Ciri'd appear in my dreams, something was wrong. She was in danger.
We taught her how to defend herself from anything, wraiths included.
Be dawning soon. Time to go.
Wait. Show me the letter from Yennefer. Might have overlooked some hint in there.
Didn't overlook anything. We were meant to meet in Willoughby. That's what she wrote. Meanwhile, one army or another burned the village to the ground. All we can do is follow her trail, so...
Stop talking for a minute and give me the letter. Ah, how about that? It does smell of lilac and gooseberries.
You were gonna read it, not sniff it.
We must meet soon. Willoughby near Vizima. Nothing else to guide us there. What's this postscript? I still have the unicorn?
Oh. I'm gonna just say it.
Stuffed unicorn. Used it once or twice. In certain situations.
The things young folk get up to these days.
Back on topic. How's it look? How far behind Yennefer are we?
2 or 3 days. Trail's fresh. But it looks like it leads towards the main
Oh, hell
road.
yeah, it looks much better.
Be muddled there. Wait, hear that?
I hear it. I smell it.
Uh-oh. Got some ghouls. Let's see here. You're gonna burn them. Ooh.
Damn, you're ugly.
Stay down. Oh shit! It's on my horse. Oh, that's Vesemir. Hey, Vezi. Need some help with this ghoul? Get his ass.
Of course. When armies pass, necrophages follow. Let's go before any more show up.
We do need to go, but you know what? I want to explore a little bit. I saw a battlefield over here. Let's see here. Let's go see what these guys are dropping. Alright, so this is the battlefield that we were just watching,
So
right?
many corpses. And the war's just started.
Eek. Let's see here. New alchemy formula. Yeesh. See if we can. Ooh, some ashes. Yeah, we get some water. Don't need a sword. Rusty swords. Suppose I could sell them at the market. A lot of axes here. Alright, I'm gonna take a few of them. Ashes I'll use in my potions. Maybe I can get some money for these axes. I'm a poor witcher at this point. Need to make my way some way. Even stealing the weapons off a dead corpse. Let's see here. I didn't see any armor. What I like to figure out here is what's going on with that.
I'm too old for treks that long.
Yeah, we're not headed that way yet. Let's see here. We'll get back with Vesemir. Let's go check that out. I know that we're somewhere around here.
Turn back or go forth?
We're going the right way. Chill out.
Time to move on.
Which way do you want me to go? Because I'm going the right way. Look at this. It's the original. It's that little head.
Bird skull in black crystal. Why do I think this is Yen's?
I got Yen's skull. Nice. I feel like there was something over here. Blow ball. Not sure if I'm gonna need that. All right, let's go on a little ride. Hey, Roach.
Ever tell you about this sorcerer I knew? Couldn't stop talking about how useful they are as creatures.
Because you can brew potions from their blood?
No, because by eating rotting corpses, they prevent epidemics.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No, really upset him too. His theory collapsed.
War's not exactly going our way.
We have a side.
The Northern Realms.
Radovid's realms, don't you mean? Temeria and Edirn are no more.
Radovid's pledged to restore the old borders as soon as he wins the war.
Believe that?
Gotta believe something. It's what keeps us going.
Giddy up.
Oh, kids around here. Take those bodies out. You're gonna get a disease. It's a warning. You okay?
Hey there.
Ugh.
Run, Roach.
Got some activity over there on the banks. Looks like, oh Jesus!
Move it.
Something's following us.
Faster.
We going? Help me! Help!
Ah, shit. It's a griffin. Vesemir.
How's it gone?
Yeah. Come out.
Hey, man. You doing okay? That sucked. Ate your horse.
Gods, that was close. I was sure I'd end up like my mare.
Provided you got lucky.
Your horse died quickly, but griffins like to toy with their prey. Eat it alive, piece by piece.
Because they're fucked up animals, just to let you know. I like to tell people about that all the time.
You'd like a reward, I suppose.
No, we just were driving through, man.
You don't owe us anything. You were in need. We helped.
And they call witches heartless. Say they won't lift a finger without pay.
They also say mice are born of rotting straw. Back to the trail.
Like I said, leads to the main road and ends there, muddled.
You seek someone?
Yeah.
Yes, a woman. Medium height, long black hair. Seen anyone like that?
No. But there's an inn here in White Orchard. Sole one around. Gets its share of travelers. Perhaps you'll learn something there? Besides, the innkeep's my cousin. Tell her Bram sent you. She'll treat you like family.
Not a bad idea. Especially since that wound needs cleaning.
Beast barely grazed me. But sure, could use a good rye. Nice and cool, you know, straight from a cellar.
Let's go.
Let's check this out.
Let's go.
Let's check it out.
So, a griffin this close to the village? Strange.
My thoughts exactly. In the forest or the mountains, sure, but here? Near the main road.
Maybe it's the war. Corpses everywhere, the stench of blood, burnt flesh. Drives monsters crazy sometimes.
Men, too. We need to watch ourselves in White Orchard. And we should leave as soon as we learn anything.
Got a lump of red today? Told me about Swiss.
Take it easy. Faster.
Witcher had naught to do with it. What did the Witcher do? They could have sewed his head back on.
Punk ass. Drunk. Get out of my way.
What? Take that down before there's trouble.
That is a coat of arms, the Temerian lilies. They've a right to hang there.
This ain't Temeria no more, old man. It's Nilfgaard now.
That's what happens.
My arse it is.
Witches.
I'll not drink with Weaver-lost freaks.
Beg your pardon for those thugs.
No need. We're used to it.
Folk are jumpy round here. Armies just passed through. Now a griffin's prowling about.
Mm-hmm. the pleasure. Ran into your kinsman, Bram.
Bram? How is he?
Alive. Sends his regards.
Master Witches. Food and drink on the house. What can I get you?
There a contract on that griffin?
Nay, not at the moment. Used to be. Soon as a beast had built a nest nearby, the alderman would start a collection, or go to the Lord for help. Now the aldermen don't use the privy without asking the Black One's permission first. And seems they hanged the Lord. So no contract.
Shame. We might have done something, but not for free.
Pretty busy place you got.
Nations on the move. Some search for kin, others just want to get out of the way of the armies. They all need food, drink, and a night's rest in warmth.
So, war's been good for your trade?
Aye, so far. But it'd be best to know peace again. Times like these, you never know what tomorrow will bring.
Let's see if you got anything good to buy.
What you got behind the counter.
Ooh. Oh, let's see here. How much money do I've got? I'm so buying these Gwent cards. Let's see here. How much money do I got? I'm a Gwent maniac. Perfect. Got some Gwent cards. I think that's all I'm gonna do right now.
Looking for a woman. Raven-haired, violet eyes, dresses in black and white. Riding in from Willoughby. And, strange as it sounds, lilac and gooseberries might have smelled that.
I've not seen nor smelt such a lady. Believe I'd remember.
Yeah, especially hard to forget this one.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of travellers about, though. Folk from all over. Might be worth your while to ask after her.
All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you.
For everything.
Got some Gwent cards, too. Those were really helpful. I really appreciate that. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be really good when I play some Gwent in a minute here. Let's go fight these punk asses. I already feel a fight coming on, Vesemir. I'm telling you, I'm going to freaking punch a fool.
Help you bandage that up?
Please. I'm not decrepit yet.
Then I'll ask about Yennefer.
Mm-hmm. Just remember, we'd rather not draw any attention.
Fair enough,
Black
fair enough.
One's been out measuring the
You
field.
just drink.
Let him measure.
I'm looking for someone.
And we seek some peace and quiet.
Out of my face, freak. For your breath sours my beer.
Raven-haired woman dressed in black and white. Seen her? Talk.
Folks say the lady rode through the village a few days back. Galloping so fast she knocked Radabor into a ditch.
Which way did she go?
Dunno. Lots of tracks leading off the main road. Could have gone anywhere.
Oi, people! The freak's taken Micah's mind!
Uh-huh. And I'll take your tongue if you don't shut up.
Sit down. That's right. Witcher time. Drink your beer, boy. Oh, shit. What's up, kitty? What else do we got in here?
Once more, there are 4 factions.
4 what?
Factions, teams, suits, similar to clubs and spades, except
Oh, we
each
got
suit
some-
has its own face cards.
Let's check it out.
What a waste of time! The Earth shall revolve around the sun before you comprehend these rules.
Yeah, get out.
Got a minute?
Why not? Aldert Geert, assistant professor in contemporary history at Oxenfurt Academy.
Geralt of Rivia. Witcher, with tenure. I'm looking for a woman. Long hair, dressed in black and white. Seen anyone like that?
Of course not! Unlike the populace, I know the horsewoman of war is pure poppycock.
Horsewoman of war? What's that about?
Folks say an omen. A beautiful phantom rides the fields at night, looks as you described her. Armies follow her, and all who cross her path meet with misfortune.
I I can vouch for the last bit. Know where they saw her?
No facts.
It's my girlfriend, by the way. You know.
Not a place I'd ever expect to find a scholar. Take it you're fleeing the war?
Quite the opposite. Chasing it. I'm headed for the front.
Tired of life?
I seek knowledge, which I value more than life itself. I've a thirst no dusty old tomes can quench. I wish to see the Nilfgaardian invasion with my own eyes, understand it, and record it all in my chronicle, my magnum opus.
Fair.
Interesting. We need somebody to describe war, what it's really like. Not colorful banners and generals making moving speeches, but rape, violence, and thoughtless cruelty.
Ah, I see you lack the polish of the Academy. Rape and cruelty are details of no import to the war's course. Trinkets on the garment of conflict, one might say.
Tell that to the people whose houses burned down.
That's right. Interested. Hasn't made it in Novigrad
yet?
Nope, but it's only a matter of time. Nilfgaard on one bank, Redania on the other, drooling over the city like dogs over a juicy bone.
Many a ruler's choked on that bone.
True. We value our liberty in Novigrad, and we know how to fight for it.
The scholars especially.
The sword is not the only weapon. Do not forget, architects from our academy designed the city walls. Walls no war machine has ever crumbled.
Interesting, yes.
Horsewoman of war. What's that about?
Folks say an omen. A beautiful phantom rides the field.
I can vouch for the last bit. Know where they saw her?
No facts in...
Well, I'm out of here, man.
Go. So long.
A moment, Witcher. You strike me as a man of the world.
Oh.
Are you familiar with Gwent?
No, and I don't have time to learn.
But the rules are quite simple. Come, let's play.
All right, let's do it. I'm down.
Why not?
Splendid. Here's how it's done.
All right, let's see what we got. Let's see if I have any decks. Oof. Okay. Don't have any... Oh, I'm going to have to do Northern Realms. So, okay, let's see here what I got. I bought some cards, so that was good. Throw my decoy in there. Alright, I think I gotta play with this set. Shoot. You might win. Because I do not have... This is the first time I've played Gwent against this guy. So let's see here. I have all these. I'm going to try to replace that. Okay, I'm down with that. I like the freeze. I'm going to take this. Let's see here. Damn it, I got 2 freezes. Okay, fair. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Let's try this. Let's see here. It's 3 rounds. I'm passing. They're going to win. They win that. I'm trying to win it these next 2 rounds, though. That's my goal. Okay, fair enough. Let's try with... Shoot. Shoot. Let's see here. What does my leader card do? says impenetrable fog. Play it instantly. I'm gonna do that. I forgot what the fog did. It did it to the wrong area, so that was a bad move on my part. Because let's see here. I guess I could put this guy down. That's gonna give me 5 points. So I'll put him down. That gives me 6. Alright, comes down to this. Alright. Let's put down this guy. Okay. Fair. Okay, who do I want to bring back? They're all ones, except I'm going to bring back this guy. See, if I had the fog, that would have been better. Freeze that first layer. I'm gonna pass. You're gonna see a lot of this Gwent. I'm a Gwent fool here. All right, let's see here. A 1. What if I get a card for that?
Well, you've a knack for this game. If you ever find yourself in Oxenfurt and wish to play a true master, ask for Stepan. A simple innkeep by trade, but a true maestro when it comes to Gwent.
I'll remember that. Thanks.
I'm almost wrapped up here anyway. Just wanted to get this thing all started up, get some missions on board. Look at somebody drop some Gwent cards over here. We got our Gwent guide. Oh shoot, this shows you where every single Gwent card is. There's 47 in Velen, 36 in Novigrad, 28 in Skellig, 1 in Visma, 1 in Kermoren. Number of new cards that could be no player renowned. 47. Oof, so many. Let's see here. Here's Yen's letter to me. All right, fair enough. Miraculous Guide to Gwent. I'm glad I got... Oh, I got Zoltan. All right, fair enough. Let's talk about this. Let's talk to this guy.
Looking for a woman.
Like everyone.
Not like everyone. And not just any woman. Mine smells of lilac and gooseberries, dresses in black and white.
2 schnapsies. It'll lift your spirits.
I'm thirsty anyway.
Fine, I'll have a drink. Can we cut to the chase? You seen her or not?
Yennefer of Vengerberg.
Never mentioned her name.
Yet you described her perfectly. And once I hear something, I never forget. Can't help it.
Nice.
What do you do? Who are you?
A mangy vagrant. Gone to Rodim, at your service.
Vagrant. That a profession now?
Once a merchant of mirrors. The madding crowd dubbed me Master Mirror, or the Man of Glass.
How do you know Yennefer?
What a question. Master Dandelion's ballads, of course. The only way a humble merchant might hope to rub up against greatness. Unless, that is, he's as lucky as I am.
And runs into a very patient witcher.
It's a Geralt of Rivia himself, the Butcher of Blaviken.
Recognize me from Master Dandelion's ballads too?
To your health.
You seen Yennefer?
Deepest apologies, but I must ask, is this about love?
Guessed it. It's love.
I knew it at once.
What do you know? Tell me.
Before you appeared, it never occurred to me that might have been Yennefer. Who would have thought?
Get to the point.
An Nilfgaardian scout from the local garrison saw her.
Where?
At their camp. She rode in there. Dark of night. Black and white. Gooseberries and... Yes, I know. Had a terse exchange with the garrison commander and raced off.
Where to?
I'm not omniscient. Ask at the garrison.
Thanks.
I'm ready to get some punching on with my fist.
Perhaps one day I'll be in trouble and you'll be nearby to help.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't a bad conversation. I played a game of Gwent. This bar is all empty now. I'm gonna talk to this guy real quick.
Ah, you return. Shall I deal?
Let's play this game of yours.
Let's take a run at it one more time. Oh yeah, I got a new Zoltan. All right. Of course he goes first. I need 2 of those. Let's see here. Oof, my deck is so bad. It's such a bad deck. All right, let's see here. All right, I'll roll with it. Go for it, boy. I don't know why I like to do that. I like to just drop that first round. It's a strategy. Fair, fair. The fish. You punk ass. Fine. Do this. Make me use multiple cards to beat you. Shoot. Got rain. I don't know if that was a good idea. Probably not, though. You just burn your cards at this point, because we're in round 3. I'm not going to put the fog on because it's a stupid thing to do. All right. So I still get the 1. That's nice. We're at 16. All right, let's see what this 5 gets down to with the rain. Sweet. Get to bring back... I'll bring back 4. It gives me 4 more points. All right, he has 1 card. Let's see where I'm at. Put the rain down. He's at 0 cards. And I still win. I don't even need to clear that up.
An interesting round. If you desire a rematch, let me know.
Fair enough. Thank you, sir. I'm out. I don't think I won anything either. There was no bets. Hey, thanks, ma'am. The dinner was great. Beer was on point. I don't think too many people liked your bread because I see it on a couple tables back over there. It was really filling. All right, punk asses.
Yes? What is it, Wolf?
Realize it's been half a year since we hunted down that fiend in Varun.
Yes. Well, that was more than a fiend. What was that bastard's name? Drugan? May the soil lie light upon him. Things used to be simpler. Monsters were bad, humans good. Now, everything's all confused.
Used to be exactly the same. You've just forgotten.
Do well not to point up my age. You're near a century old yourself.
All right.
See you later, Vesemir.
Let's get back to it. I'm out. Now we're going to go check our menus here. First of all, let's see what we got in our inventory. Very small, couple swords. Very minimal on the potions. Let's see here. We got the glint book. Oh, shoot. Blunt axe. They were just junk. I was going to scrap that, I guess. Let's see what's this. Monster claw. I think there was something over here. Oh, yeah. Messed up swords. We're going to sell those swords. Let's see here. Let's see who we've run into. We got Siri. Dandelion. He's my bro. Eskel. Geralt, of course. Lambert. Vesemir. And there's my babe. Yennefer. But we gotta go find Siri. She's much older now. She looks like a young child in that park right there. Let's see what crafting we have in here. So we got some leather jackets. There's some components. We'll figure this later. Got some junk. Yeah, we're not going to be doing too much crafting. All right, fair enough. Let's take a look at our quests. All right. Complete your collection of Gwent cards. This is going to take forever. You get it. It's like on the first quest you get. It's like, okay, so we got to ask Nilfgaardians about Yennefer. That's right. We're going to finish this quest out. And then we're off. Off for the evening. And we've successfully launched our Witcher start.
I'm drinking.
Oh, God. I'm going to kick somebody's ass, aren't I?
Fuck off.
Don't want your kind here.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. 3 against 1. I'm getting a
round
fight.
Up someone else to help. 3 of you don't stand a chance against me.
Well, I could fuck you up by myself.
If I had a bag over my head and my hands tied behind... Actually, no, not even then.
Chet, Lesh, back off. I'll teach this vagrant a lesson. Man on freak.
Let's go, boy. Want this? Punk ass. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, you get punch on me? Don't do these things. Punch you asses. Hey, sorry. Hey, it's okay. They were just getting on my ass. Oh shit, where am I running?
Will you raise a glass with me?
It's Durban now. D-E-R-B-A-N.
Where's my roach? Hey, little boy.
Me dad had a sword once too.
Should have taken Roach. It's alright. Oh, there we go. Hey, Roach. Where you at, buddy? Let's go and figure this out.
Hi, Hellraiser. I think those plums are wreaking havoc on my gut. Hi, Pride Hellraiser.
Place of power.
Ooh, what do we find? What do we find here?
Hey-ya!
Oh shit, there's a ghost. Oh shit.
Come on.
It's a wraith. Oh! It's a pretty hardcore raid. Let's go. Oh shit. What the hell? Apparently this is a mission gun. I can't kill it. What the hell? We're gonna take you to the village. We're gonna take you right to the village. Oh, we stuck in a tree. Alright, that Wraith is a piece of crap. Don't want them to die. I was glitching out the screen. That shows that I should have killed it, but I wasn't able to get it. That was a little excessive, I understand. Sorry you had to witness that.
Move it.
Hanging all these people is jacked up. Oof.
Run, Roach.
See you guys. Wait, were those the Nilfgaardians? Or was I supposed to go this way?
Hey, yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm going this way. Oof, a wolf. A couple of them. Hold on a second here. What do we got here? What do we got here? Ooh, we got some steel. Got some loot. I will loot the hell out of this. It's jacked up though. Somebody had to die for this. Hold on a second. What the hell's that noise? It's just rolling in the water. Get some meat from these wolves. Alright, and there's one more wolf over here. Let's get some delicious wolf. Where is it? Since it's like over here. Oh, here it is. Alright, let's continue on our journey. Got some push-ups going on over here. Good job, guys. Looking good, looking good. Alright, let's go have a conversation. Gotta find my Yennefer.
Gloar and I'd fain.
What?
Hmm?
Oh. Alright.
Military camp. No locals allowed without the express consent of the garrison commander.
I'm not a
I
local.
look like a local to you?
Come on.
Look like trouble.
Dead wrong. I make trouble go away. I'm a witcher.
A witcher? Captain Peter Sugwin Levy is in the tower. Turn right, past the gate.
You got work for me?
Guessing your captain's got work for me.
This is the army, Nordling. There is no guessing.
To the tower. Go.
Hell yeah. Got some work. What's up, dudes? Oh shit. It's all glitching out. I saw that glitching. Alright, well I think this is where we're gonna end it. We made it here. We're gonna talk about some finding Yennefer, the army. This is a great place to end it. So let's see here. If I hit this, I can save the game here. And let's see here. Till death do us part. We're not gonna save it over that, because when was that? That was pretty recent. I'm gonna go over to like this Get Junior one here. We'll save it there for now. Okay. And we're saved up, so we will see you next time on some Witcher when I'm able to do that. So thanks for joining the Adam and Ryan show minus Ryan tonight. I think we did some cool stuff. One of the cool things is that GPT that we were looking at earlier, and so if you are interested in that a little bit more, go check it out. It's definitely something that's going to change the future. But one thing is, let's go take a look at this boat over here for a minute here and see what's going on with it. It's coming out really good. We didn't get to see some of that infill, which, well, I actually saw a little bit on camera there, but what are we at? An hour and 45 minutes into this? That's looking really smooth. I'm actually really excited I did it with this filament. Be able to see a benchy in that capacity. So you have a good night. Check us out next time on the Double Drop Down show. We probably are going to be back in action this next year with some new formats. We want to start showing off some show and tell, some things that we do. You've seen me play with some Simplify 3D, maybe doing some new tutorials and slicing. I know Ryan's got a lot of cool stuff that he likes to show off on his side of the house. We'll continue reviewing games, looking at like pop culture. We want to do some more hot takes on the news as well. So if you're going to be hanging out and seeing what's current, at least in what we're looking at, not the news like politics and all that crap, we leave that there for us to go in our normal lives and fret about. But we're going to be taking a look at kind of like pop culture news, AI things that are coming up, things that we might be able to start working on, start doing some projects. Check out The Witcher, because you just started to see the beginning of it. Obviously need to fix something with some sort of capture card so they're not getting all that noise. Actually, I'll work on that next time. I'm going to make sure that you're going to be able to see The Witcher pretty consistently from this point forward. I'm actually excited. The graphics look a lot better. Starting it fresh, you saw I won my first game of Gwent, my second game of Gwent 2, which I absolutely love. So we will check you out next time. Double Drop Down. Thanks for hanging out tonight, and we'll see you around. Peace out.